Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great. So for my today's video I am going to show you the one of the chess opening, that is King's Gambit. So for this video I have changed my setup, like I am using some different kind of pieces, as well as I have changed the board color. So please let me know if you like this one in the comment section. So going to the video, King's Gambit is the chess opening which is going to begin with the moves like e4, e5 and f4. So here white is going to offer this pawn to black, like black can capture this pawn, and this overall setup is known as King's Gambit. So if black is going to capture this pawn by playing e captures on f4, white is going to have two plans, like he's going to play either d4 to get the good control of the center squares, or he is going to reply with knight to f3, sorry, with knight to f3. Or at this position, for example, black is going to play some silly move, so the white can capture this pawn by playing bishop captures on f4, so he can regain his pawn. or, or like this, he is going to play bishop captures on on f4 and gain this massive central control. Sorry for that. Or either black is going to play after this accepted pawn, like he captures off on f4, so he's going to play knight to f3. Then for example, the black is going to defend this pawn by playing g5, and he is going to play bishop to c4, and here white is going to just castle and get the semi open g file for his for example this, and after that white is going to castle, and he can just pile up on this pawn, like the rook is going to pile up on this f2 pawn, and bishop is also going there, and, and knight may jump to e5, and white is going to get a lot of development as well as attacking plan to attack black pieces. Or black may have to play some other move in order to defend this pawn, like such as black is going to play knight to knight to knight to f3, and now our white is going to play bishop to c4, and then the black is going to reply with knight to h4 in order to defend this gambited pawn. But it is going to black is going to lose lot of tempo while doing this. And now we are going to see some the downside of this queen's gambit decline. If black is going to reply with e captures on f4, and after this he is going to play knight to f3. Black can go for queen to h3 check, queen to h4 check. So here white cannot push g2 g3, sorry, uh, as he is already having some attack. Let me show you this. Like if white is going to reply with g3, g3, black can simply capture this pawn, and and, and you cannot recapture this pawn as your rook will hang. So this is also one of the downside of this gambit, as it is going to loosen up your king's position. So in order to avoid this, you may have to play like something king to king to f2, and you might lose the castling privileges. Let me show you this again. Like you have to play king king to e2 or something, and you will lose your castling privileges, and this will and black is going to have very nice game, as this pawn is very nicely solidified there, and white is not have any way to develop his bishop as well as the rook, the king, the queen, and the knight and rook. These all pieces are being undeveloped, and then you have a king on e2. Thi- and this is not good for white. So now I'm going to tell you something about the King's Gambit, King's Gambit, like what are the old theories and all about it. King King's Gambit is one of the oldest documented openings. It was examined by the 17th century by an Italian chess player Giulio Cesare Polerio. I don't know if if I am pronouncing it right, but that's the way it is. And also it appears in one of the earliest chess book by Luis Ramirez de Lucena, and the name of the book is Repetition de Amorous via Art de Agendas. I am not that much good by the Italian pronunciation, so I am just making things happen here. The King's Gambit was one of the most popular opening until the late 19th century, when the improvement in the defensive technique lead it to decline in the popularity. It is infrequently seen at the masters level today, as the black has the several methods to gain the equality, but still it is popular at the amateur level. Further going on, there during this chess opening, black is the one who is going to decide what he is going to do with the pawn. He may accept this gambit, or he may decline this gambit. So first, like if he is going to accept this gambit, then we have already seen, like this is the king's knights gambit. And so after this, the black may go for the further develop. In this king's knights gambit, black may defend this pawn by playing g5, or he is going to just give back this pawn when white, like he may play like pawn to g5 and defend this pawn, or he may just give back this pawn to white, like white is going to develop this pawn, and after that he's going to capture it with the bishop, or and he can just continue developing the pieces, like he is going to develop his pieces. Then after white is going to play d3, and at the next move he can capture this pawn, while black is going to do the development, and white is going to capture this gambited pawn, and black is going to respond with castles. So the black here have completed his development, as well as white is also good in the development, as well as he also captured his gambited pawn, while bishop being on f4. This one is the king's knights gambit in the King's Gambit Accepted. And after this, we are going to see the classical variation in in the King's Gambit. So after this pawn have been captured, like after capturing the pawn, white is going to play knight to f3, and white is going to reply, the black is going to reply with pawn to f5. In here he is going to defend, he has defended his pawn, as this pawn is also guarded by the king, and now he is going to play play g4 in order to dislodge this knight. The main continuation traditionally for this attack is usually h5, sorry, h4, where white is going to attack this pawn, in order to weaken this, and in order to recapture this pawn, and as well as black cannot play g6 here, as knight is going to take the another square, like or or white may simply responds with bishop to c4 and continue to develop. Here black can play like g4 in order to dislodge the knight, and white will happily going to take the another position, and the game is going to continue. But here this queen to h5 check is little bit hasty for h4 check is little bit hasty for white. Like he is going to respond with uh, let me guess, like with g3, then white is going to capture this pawn, and things are not going to be good. Like you are not going you cannot, again you cannot capture this pawn, as your rook is going to hang on h1. So this is not a good position for white as well. So this classical variation is going to be very fruitful for black in this king's gambit. Now we are going to see one more variation in this king's gambit. Like after this, after playing, after accepting this pawn, like a pawn capture on f6, and white is going to play knight to f3. Now here black is going to respond with bishop to e7. He is going to threaten threaten bishop to f4 check. So for this line, what he is going to do, he is going to play like white is going to continue normal development by playing d4. So white black is going to reply with a pawn move d6, and next move white is going to go like bishop to g3, bishop to s7, and things are going to be ugly here for white. So let me further explain this to you. Like so let us check this line, like what is going to happen. Like he is going to play bishop to like bishop to e7. Black is going to, and white is going to respond with knight to c3. Then we are going to get like bishop to f4 check. Here white cannot recapture this piece, as queen is going to, sorry, queen is going to come back and capture, and again he will be not going to play, not he won't be able to, respond with g2. So and again this position will not be that much good for white. So here the one another move black is going to respond it is king to e2, and again black is going to respond with d5. White is going to play d4, and at this position white is going to uh, white black is going to respond with bishop to g4 and pin this knight, and he is going to pile up like on the next move. For example, white cannot capture this pawn also. Let us think he is going to play king to do2 and d2, and on next move queen is going to come in the game by playing queen to f6. So this setup is known as Cunningham's defenses, and here black is going to have a very good, sorry, white is going to have a very good central defense, as these pawns are taking care of everything, and he is also having this knight to attack these pieces. Queen is also there in order to help, and but your bishop here is quite vulnerable, and these two bishops are also very dangerous. But this position may, maybe work for white, but I think it is quite difficult. This is the Cunningham's defense. So in King's Gambit Accepted, there are maybe 11 lines. for which classical variation and Banker's defense, Kunikan's defense. I have given Kunikan's defense in this video, and for other videos we may cover up the other sections, like other section. Now we may take some of the examples of Queen's Gambit Decline. So in the Queen's Gambit Decline, black is not going to capture this pawn. Like black is not going to capture this pawn. He may going to play like bishop to c4, c5, bishop to c5. This one is the classical defense. Or he is going to play, or he is going to play like d5 here. So this is called as the Falkbeer's Counter-gambit, d5. This position. So for the King's Gambit Decline, we have the black can go for the two lines. First one is the classical defense, uh, which is bishop to c5, or he can go for the Falkbeer counter gambit. So yeah, friend, this is the sum of the theories of the King's Gambit. Hope you all like this video, and please give me your suggestions on the how you are how you have seen my new setup with the pieces and the board color. Hope you enjoy this. Have a good Sunday. Thank you for watching.